Some of the biggest questions that my art coaching students always ask me are, how can I use social media to sell my art? Are there other ways that I could sell my art? How can I get better at talking about my art? If any of these questions ever popped in your head, or you're just into cool art, you're gonna love this interview. Oh, and if we haven't met yet, I'm Stephanie Menji, and I help emerging artists build and grow their creative empires. Today you're going to meet Luis Valle. He's a Miami-based Nicaraguan artist known for his beautiful murals. His works are influenced by indigenous culture, the energy of human nature, and spirituality. You can find Luis's murals throughout the world and in many cities in the United States. He's also collaborated with many companies like Samsung, Celebrity Cruise Lines, Simple Mobile, and Fender Guitars. I couldn't be happier to introduce you to him. Take it away, Luis. Hey Luis, can you tell us a little bit more about your journey as an artist and how you've incorporated entrepreneurship in your career and just everything that you've done so far?
My journey as an artist has gone a long way because I've been an artist since I was a kid. Growing up, always in elementary school, I was doodling, in class. It was always that or sports. I was an athlete in all elementary school and high school, so it was either going to be art or sports. But in the high school I went to, Columbus wasn't have like a big art program. Or the elementary schools I went to didn't have a big art programs. But I was always like one of the top artists in my classes, and always kind of focused on that stuff. And then when I got into high school, actually middle school, I got into graffiti. We'd go out, me and my friend Heist, we'd go out and do a graffiti on the streets, and then with some more friends, we'd made up and started doing our stuff. We were in high school. But that kind of stuff, kind of got into some situations where you got chased by cops sometimes and was able to not get in trouble. But there was one time particularly that left me with a big scare, because it was right when I was getting accepted for college, and if I would have gotten arrested I wouldn't have been able to go. So I kind of changed focus on what I was doing and went to Florida State and got my bachelor's in fine arts there, where I focused a lot more on studio work, studio artwork, or my paintings, and learning how to print, how to weld. But then when I graduated college, I came back to Miami and started working in art galleries back in Coral Gables back in 1998. And it was a way for me to, since school doesn't really, it gives you the studio practice, it gives you opportunities to make art, it teaches you some theory and whatnot, but doesn't really teach you how to sell your art or become an artist or the business of art. So as soon as I finished college, I started working for art galleries, and that was a way for me to kind of learn a lot of the ins and outs of selling your paintings and knowing more about the art world, which I eventually got a master's degree in NYU, which got me to New York, and I got to learn a lot more about the art world, and especially going to museums and galleries in New York. Finished there and came back to Miami and started just getting involved in the art scene here. Worked for Arts for Learning, worked at the Children's Museum as a teacher, was a teacher at a Tucson Louverture in Little Haiti, in the art school there for a while. So then worked at some art galleries as well, and eventually had the opportunity to open a Brisky gallery in Wynwood, which was really awesome because that's when Wynwood was really cool place to be. So that gave me a lot of opportunities and meeting people in the art world and learning more of the ins and outs of now opened up a gallery with somebody and from scratch. So that helped out a lot. Well, it definitely helped me because I think a lot of artists, especially me early on, I was really shy about talking about my work, talking about myself, putting myself out there. Because art's something that's really can be really personal. So, and sometimes really very, very personal sometimes. So you're putting it out there for the world to see. So it's it can be very scary because you're putting out there a lot of your emotional scars, sometimes a lot of stuff. So, yeah, working in the art galleries allowed me to talk more to people about sales and about artwork, and then eventually my own stuff and everything. So, and it helped me to learn how to price things and how to deal with things, or what things were worth, or how things worked, or kind of ways to get people to go to shows and get your stuff out there and whatnot. So that definitely helped out a lot. So you have to, work at it every day. You have to follow up on emails. You have to do the social media stuff. You have to make sure everything's covered, that you're following up with the clients, you're collecting money, you're paying your bills. So all that stuff really helps because, if you're gonna run somebody else's business, and then you're going to be an artist. You have to learn to make money for yourself and treat yourself as a business, because that's what it is. You know, you have to be a businessman because you're a businessman. So I was getting a lot of attention already while I was doing the gallery, but it was like a big elephant on my back, which was great. But it was like once I was able to, you know, leave the gallery and be done with that part, and it was just my focus was just all about my work now. So I put all that energy in there. Sometimes it's tough because when you're creating, you're in creation mode, and it's like, and nothing else matters. You're just kind of like painting and worried about getting that job done and whatnot. But you know, it's a full-time gig, so you have to wake up in the morning, check your emails. When you get a break, a lunch, whatever it is, check to see if there's other emails coming through, follow through with them. You know, try to post as much as possible on your Instagram, check those messages if anything's coming through. And just, you know, just know that you're the one doing it and nobody else is gonna do it for you, so it has to get done. You know, you have to write invoices, you have to apply for things sometimes. You know, there's a lot of work to be done, so you gotta keep at it. You have to document all your stuff, you have to upload it on your website, you have to, you know, keep track of everything. So it's definitely, you gotta be on point and just keep on working at it, you know? It's a constant, there's always something to do. So I've always made sure that, you know, I've got all my information on my work, and when I do stuff on Instagram, I try to put hashtags on there that are gonna reach more public than just certain hashtags, which has helped me out. So yeah, being on top of it and making sure the social media is out there, and you know, and a lot of connections luckily now have come because I've gotten my stuff out there. People are calling me, where before I used to have to go look for stuff and really like pound the pavement and whatnot, which you still have to do some of that. But luckily enough, like, you know, stuff is rolling in where I'm not having to look for so much stuff, where I can kind of like say yes, no to certain projects and whatnot. Sometimes certain projects may not pay as much or be as lucrative, but because of what it's for or the situation or whatever, might still be worth it. So I do my best to stay busy and try to get my work out there in many different avenues. So that way, maybe you've never seen my work in a mural, you might see it on some clothing, or you might see it on, you know, on different situations. So it's just do what you can and get your name out there where you can, if it's the right situation for you. I mean, I know a lot of artists are socially awkward, like super socially awkward. So that just comes with time, I think. You got to do your best to get out there, go out to art events, talk to people, do as many interviews as you can. You know, it's like the first time I was getting interviewed, it's like I'm mumbly, almost teary-eyed, all that kind of stuff, like super nervous. Now it's, you know, I've done it a bunch of times, so it's not as big of a deal, but it's just important to just constantly keep on doing it, keep on, you know, getting yourself in situations. I think being an art teacher also helped me out a lot too, was having to be in front of people and talking to them. And I remember the first time I was a teacher, and actual teacher in school with like 30 kids now in front of me, I was like, oh my God, I have to like talk to these guys for an hour and have them focus. So it was like, so I think those kind of things, and just making sure that you're out there, help out, you know, the more you do it, you just got to put yourself out there no matter what it is, and just try and swim with the dogs, you know. And it's not going to be easy at first, but I think humans get better at anything they do the more they do it. As far as murals, I don't think I have a favorite mural, but I think my favorite motif has been the tree woman that I've done, which I've painted a bunch of those now in different places and different countries and whatnot. So I think that one kind of, it says a lot about what I want to say in my work, with the spirituality and the nature, and kind of like Mother Nature and feminism being a powerful force, and feminine spirituality of nature, just kind of like how the world right now, there's a lot of stuff going on with animals and climate and whatnot. So, but that has been a really popular mural, and I've had the one here in Little Haiti with the peacock. That one's been one of my favorite ones, and I think one that I did in Wynwood, it had this nice motif of the cherry blossoms falling. Also made a couple that were like kind of embraced and kissing, which a lot of people took pictures of in front of and pretended like they were the couple too. So that one was really nice also. It's really nice to see that people like the work so much that they want to share it like that. I try to do my best to share work that people post too when I can, when I actually see it on my Instagram. So it's nice because you want your work to get out there, and if people like it enough to be taking pictures of it and sharing it, it's really flattering. It's like when it's really rewarding for an artist to have that happen. I think the number one thing is just always keep at it. Don't let anybody let you down. There's always gonna be haters out there, so you have to or people that tell you can't do it, you're not gonna be able to do it. So just always work at it, work hard, and try to get yourself involved in as many things as you can that seem like a proper thing to get involved in. I mean, there's always gonna be people in the art world trying to take advantage of you. That's the one thing that happens a lot. But also don't be discouraged. There's a lot of situations that are discouraging you, that are discouraging in the art world. There's a lot of amazing artists out there, so you might not get a certain opportunity. Somebody might get the opportunity in front of before you, or you just have to keep on trying and build your portfolio. If you build your portfolio and believe in your work and really love what you're doing, and that's the number one important thing. If you like what you made and you love what you made, then somebody else is gonna feel that love and love it also. If you're just making it just to make it because somebody just passed away and you think you're gonna do a memorial thing, or because whatever happened and you just wanna do this hype thing for this moment or whatever, you're not really doing something, you're just trying to get out of love. You're doing it to get your name out there. But if you're doing it with love and you're doing it because you really like your work, somebody else is gonna eventually see it and respond to that as well.
Isn't it awesome how Louis turned walls around the world into his gallery? If you want to see more of his work, make sure to follow him on Instagram. And if you want to see what I'm up to, you can follow me on Instagram too. And if you're an artist that wants to learn how to grow and build your art empire, don't miss out on the free training video in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and check out my first interview with Kiki Valdez.